We're back. CBS Mornings, 8:30. Instead of talking at the table today, we got a guest who's going to teach us all how to save money and have less stress when we travel. Doesn't that sound nice? I think it does. In a new book called How to Win at Travel, the founder of the Points Guy website, Brian Kelly, is offering us a roadmap for travelers to conquer their travel goals and optimize their loyalty points as well. Gayle and I spoke to him earlier this week. Because we're talking at this particular moment, I think we have to get into flying as a safe mode of transport.
Yep.
I know it is statistically, I've seen the numbers, but there are still fears. What do you say to people who are a little jittery in the air?
Well, especially in light of the recent
Exactly.
These, I mean,
That's-
these events are
that's top of
terrible. We
mind
don't
for a
know
lot of
exactly
people.
what caused it, who was at
Yes.
fault, but I think it is important to look at the statistics, and it would take you, statistically, flying every single day for 103,000 years to be involved in a fatal crash. Air travel is extraordinarily safe, but millions and millions of Americans have fear of flying.
Yeah, you said
like
40% of Americans.
and growing, even though air travel's gotten remarkably safer.
I want to go back a second about you because as a little kid, how you became the points guy. When you were little, 10, 12 years old, your family allowed you to plan the trip. And you did it just by using all of the resources by going online.
Yeah, my
I
dad.
was fascinated by
Yeah,
that.
my dad had frequent flyer miles on a couple different airlines, and I'm one of 4 kids. So growing up, we were not fancy. We didn't do Europe. You know, we'd mostly go to Outer Banks or Florida. And my dad challenged me. He said, if you can figure out all these different airline miles that are scattered, and I hopped on the phones, talked with Sheila at US Airways at the time, and she helped me. And I wanted to go to the Cayman Islands because I had just read The Firm by John Grisham.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I booked all 6 of us for free.
That's amazing.
Tony, he says travel is a sport. And
my favorite
And you
sport.
have to have a skill.
It's a mental sport and understanding the system. And I think a lot of people, and why I wrote this book, is a lot of people are making mistakes at the planning level. They're booking their flights through the wrong sites. Nowadays, it's critical you book your flights when possible through the airline, because when things go wrong, the airline can immediately reaccommodate you. If you book through certain online travel agencies that are not reputable, you need to call that travel agency, and that could mean you not getting home that night.
So what are the most common mistakes people make with their loyalty points?
With points, so I've got 10 points commandments in the books. The first would be letting them expire. I know a lot of people who don't have a strategy and they have accounts. And if you're gonna let your miles expire, please donate them to charity. Make a wish. 80% of wishes involve travel, and you can donate your airline miles. So at the minimum, put them to
Use
a good
them.
cause. And on the other end of the spectrum, there are a lot of points hoarders out there with millions of points because they don't know how to use them. They have decision paralysis.
You say there's a difference between points and miles.
Yes.
And most people don't understand the
Yeah,
difference.
so miles are generally with one airline. The trend these days, get a credit card with transferable points. These credit cards allow you to build points with the program that allows you to transfer to a ton of different partners. For example, an Amex Gold card, even if you fly Delta, an Amex Gold card will get you 4 points per dollar on dining and groceries, which is stuff we all do. You can still transfer it to Delta 1-to-1, plus 30 plus other partners. So if you wanted to go on your honeymoon and fly Emirates, bam, you transfer to Emirates. You go to Paris with Air France. When you bank in miles alone with one airline, you're foregoing so much more value by having the options.
That's what I
of
do. I
other
bank.
carriers.
But Tony, he has 28 credit cards.
I am aware.
But over 800 FICO score. I don't recommend most people getting 28 cards
And why do you have 28?
because points are one thing, but perks are another. A lot of credit cards will come with perks that far outweigh the annual fee. Well, you want to be earning, ideally, a point for every dollar you spend in your life, and ideally more. That Capital One Venture card gives 2 points on every dollar spent. So that's my baseline card.
One of my favorite chapters is the etiquette chapter, because you said you can forgive ignorance, but you cannot forgive disrespect or arrogance.
Yep.
So I have a pet peeve about the reclining seat.
Yep.
I don't think airlines should make reclining seats that don't give you enough room behind you.
I
Because
agree.
it just happened to me the other day. The meal is served, they wonked the chair back, and you said you should politely say something. Oh, I never say anything. I just sit there stewing.
Yeah.
But you said,
Well, this is
if
why I wrote
they have the right to recline the seat,
Yes.
but it is annoying when
In
there's not enough
general, there's a
room.
right to recline the seat, but don't recline it aggressively. Don't recline it during meal service. I think just a lot of people don't realize that during meal service, the person behind you is looking at your scalp.
Yeah.
And I think if people just think a little bit more differently, people I share the book with, infrequent travelers, like, I just didn't think about it. I do believe most people just don't realize I mean, I don't know who wouldn't realize clipping toenails on a plane is a bad idea, but I've still seen that numerous times. Grooming is a no-no, smelly food is a no-no, and one for me is too much perfume or cologne. That, on a plane, it just amplifies.
Because travel should be a pleasant experience, right, Brian?
It should be. I think it can be.
And it can be.
It can be and will be if you buy Brian Kelly's new book. It's called How to Win at Travel, on sale right now.